Hey, I thought I'd show everybody some stuff that we've been monitoring in terms of Google's search results and the effect that SEO can have on these search results and rankings. So the first thing I'm going to show you here is we're looking at the ranking report for what is a HVAC company in a major North American city. So it'd be like My City Air Conditioning. Now, we started doing work for them back in September for this specific page, this specific city that they're targeting, back in September. So I'm just going to grab my arrow here. So we could see back here when it started, we were somewhere around, like around 70 when they first started showing up in search. Now, what we have here is the first 3 months. So I'm just going to go and I'm going to type in first 3 months here, and just to show you kind of the, so you get a better idea of what's going on. And let me just get a right color here. And sorry, just getting colors here so I can make a better video. So over here, this is the first 3 months. I'll just type this in. InDesign can be a little bit fussy sometimes. Again, lovely minion here. The color. So here's the first 3 months. Now, if you're, somebody who's new to SEO, you might be thinking, well, in these 3 months, we've really had no results. We've had it drop out of the top 100 a number of times, and you can get to the point where you start panicking, going like, what's going on? Nothing is happening. So let me draw a line here. I'm going to draw a red line, which is kind of the first 3 months, which is right here. So I'll draw that red line. I'm going to make it like a little bit wider so that we can see it a bit better. So there's our red line. It shows the first 3 months. Now, if you looked at this, you're going to, like I said, a client's going to look at it and go, wow, this is terrible. Nothing, this SEO is not working. But as we're seeing in SEO right now is that it takes time for links to start kicking in. It used to be that it was really fast. I can remember back in the day when we'd be able to build hundreds of links for a client or a specific site that we were doing tests on, and we could get it on the first page in like 4 weeks because we were just building these links. But that, you can't do that anymore. It doesn't work, and it'll actually have a negative effect. So if you do it a nice patient way and do it the way you're taught, and not necessarily the way we're taught, but the strategy that's working, here's what can start happening is that I'm going to start peeling this back. And you can see, wow, all of a sudden we get a spike and it's up into the mid 30s and then it falls back again. So we're starting to get into January here and it's kind of floating around this area here in the 30s, drops a little bit, then drops into the 40s, and boom, we get a spike. We get a big spike. Like this spike actually went up to, and I'm just going to get a little pen here and make sure I get a nice little color here. And let's get the color that we want. There we go. Sorry guys, I got that connect stuck there. So I get my pen and we look at this here. So this here, that spot right there, that was number 6. That jumped up to number 6. And that's, so you think like here, nothing happened in the first 3 months and all of a sudden it jumps to number 6. Now, then as we go along into February, oh my gosh, it starts dropping. It starts dropping. It even dropped down to like number 24 or number 23, somewhere around there. And it even gets even worse. Like all of a sudden it bounces back and then it drops back even more. Now we're looking down into the high 20s. Like what's going on? You could really start panicking and going, we're doing something wrong. But no, if you just wait it out and know you're doing the right thing, it starts coming back. You can see here, this came back to number 11. And we didn't change our strategy at all along this way. We just we kept building links. So this here, the links that we built back here in January are the ones that are starting to kick in here. So you're going to see things like this, and the idea is don't panic. Things are going to come back around as long as you're doing it the way you're taught. So I'm going to show you another example over here, and I'll just pull everything around here in InDesign. I just like using InDesign better. So here's another example as we get it here. This is another client. They essentially are a broker, a business broker for different types of businesses. So you can see here, now this is a little bit along, we're in November, but there really wasn't much movement again. So again, we get our clients, or we get people who don't understand saying, I'll just draw this here. It's kind of like, we get this. What the hell, right? This stuff that you're doing for us is not working. You sell us a bag of nothing, and you're supposed to be doing SEO. How come it's not working? Well, you have to be patient. Again, another example. So as we go along here, boom, wow, look at this. About 3 months, it's actually less than 2 months in because it was in November we started, we get a big spike here. So it jumps up into the 20s, and things are going along into January and February. We're kind of around then we get another spike in February. This time it jumps up into the high teens. So like, okay, things are going really good. Things are going in the right direction. It's because we're patient. So it's kind of floating around that area there. And then it drops again. We get a drop here like this. So it's kind of like the previous example I showed you. We get some drops. So it starts dropping, and then finally it jumps back up here. It's higher than it ever was before. So you think, oh, we're going in the right direction, and then it falls off. And then we get the big spike. So again, this is right around March 26th, somewhere around there. And again, we had 3 months. If we look 2 to 3 months previously, we were building links around here. So the links we started building around here are what's happening here. And now I'll just show you another example. Same type of thing. Again, this is the same client, the business broker. And you kind of wait around, and then, we get the spike. Another spike. We got a drop, though, first. And then we're sitting in the 20 or the low 30s, and then we get a drop, and we get a big drop now. Now we're down back to 50 again. But now look what happens. Look at this. Jump right back up here into the high teens. Again, it's not first page, but it hasn't been, this client had only been with us for 4 months at this point. So you see this. This is normal. This is really what we're seeing right now when it comes to SEO. So don't be afraid when you see, or get too excited when you see these jumps. Don't be too excited or disappointed when you see these drops. What we want to do is we want to analyze this like we're in the stock market or real estate market. It's not the momentary snapshots that we want to see when it comes to SEO. It's the trends we want to see. So if we look at the trends for all three, I'm going to pull up my tool here. I'm going to show you here. Look at this. Here's the trend. Now, if we look, it dropped, it jumped above that line, it dropped again. But look at the trend from the beginning of January to now. We're there. I'm going to make the stroke a little bit bigger here just so that you can see. Again, so there's the trend there. I'll go back to the previous one. Same thing. Here it is to here. Right there. So if we looked at it at this point right here, we'd be thinking, this is terrible. We were here at one point and now we're down here. But again, this is the trend. It's nothing in SEO ever happens exactly like this all the time. What I mean is that it doesn't just keep going up and up. You're going to get these peaks and valleys. I'll show you the first one as well as the last one again. I'll do that nice red line like that. I'm going to eliminate this red line in the middle that we showed kind of 3 months in. And I'll just close this over here. So here's an example again. So we started back here and we're here. There's the trend line. Again, look at it as if you're, a financial analyst, you're trading stocks. This stuff goes up and down all the time. Eventually you're going to get to a point, if you're doing it right, where you're going to stabilize out on the first page somewhere, hopefully at number 1 or in the top 3. But again, don't get too excited when you see this. Don't get too disappointed when you see these drops. Analyze the trend. Sometimes we get our clients, they look at it and go, well, what happened? Why am I down here? Well, they're looking at it as a snapshot of that one day. They need to look at it as an overall trend. So I just thought I'd show this. I hope it helps people, and it may even help you if you're talking to your clients, or even if you're just believing that what you're doing is not working. Anyways, thanks guys.